be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Are you passionate about helping your community? Join us. Milwaukee County Aging and Disability Services is hosting a hiring event on Wednesday, August 21st from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. at the Zufari Conference Center. We're recruiting for supervisors, staff, and more. Come meet our team and learn how you can make a difference. On-the-spot applications and interviews available. Mark your calendars for Wednesday, August 21st, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. at Zufari Conference Center located at 9715 West Blue Mound Road. We can't wait to see you there.
It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the new 1017 The Truth. Here is Denise Thomas with her truth.
How many times have you said to yourself, I do not have enough time? I feel as though there's not enough time in the day. You're not alone. One of the things I've realized is part of why I never have enough time is because I was wasting it arguing with people who are committed to misunderstanding me. Make the decision on whether or not you want to continue waking up and pouring into people with debates, with arguments, with explanations that, again, are committed to misunderstanding you, committed to not respecting your ideas or understanding why you are who you are. So for me, as I continue to thrive every day, as someone who takes pride in continuous improvement, I am no longer arguing with people who are committed to misunderstanding me or wanting to reject my thoughts and my ideas. I find it interesting that usually those people who are committed because they recognize the greatness that exists in you, that exists in me. So again, part of saving your time and getting that time back is not arguing, debating, or explaining yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. However, you should believe in yourself and your abilities because that is your superpower. The power to winning and staying focused on winning is not focusing on those setbacks or even those individuals that are attempting to prevent you. But the power to win lies within you, waiting to be unleashed through dedication and effort. Keep winning. You got this.
This has been Truth Takes on the new 1017 The Truth. Listen to The Truth Be Told with DT and Telly weekdays from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Happy kids heal faster, and that's why Starlight is dedicated to improving the mental well-being of sick kids across the U.S. Learn how at starlight.org.
Seriously injured? Make one call. That's all.
It's The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
While we're waiting for Senator Reverend Raphael Warnock to call us, a couple of folks in the YouTube chat are talking about chicken wings. And apparently Elsa's closes at 3 o'clock. You're kidding. Like every day they close at 3? So they're not open in the evenings anymore? Or they close at 3 and then they open again for the dinner time? Because that's a big blow if that's the case. Lately on my social media timeline, and it's mostly Facebook. I'm getting tired of Facebook. I am. I really am. And, you know, the young people, they're not even really on Facebook anymore. That's for a bunch of old people. And I can tell. But there seems to be this question that keeps coming up that everybody is asking. And why don't you know the answer to this question? I don't know why they don't know the answer. But whenever someone doesn't have an answer to a social question or a leisure time question, or they're inquiring about something of the sort, they always go to Facebook. Like Facebook is where you go for answers of where's the best chicken wings. Every now and again I eat meat. I don't purchase meat when I go to the grocery store, but if I go out to a restaurant, sure, I'll engage in animal protein, but I don't buy it. And if I'm going out to eat and eating meat, it better be really good. It better be worth it, right? Oh, I can tell you where the best wings are. Absolutely, I could. I can name, 5, 6, 7 different places in different neighborhoods, different themes to the restaurants, different moods, different vibes, different settings. They play different kinds of music, all of that. But I'm not going to tell you because you may ruin it. What is it with our fascination with chicken wings? There's so many other parts of the chicken that offer more meat, that are much more filling. What is it about the wing that has become, I'm not even going to say a cultural phenomenon with black people. Everybody loves a wing. I don't know what it is. Is it because it's bite-sized? Is it because it's fun? Like, I don't, think about it for a second. People are fascinated. I don't know if there's any other food that incites more like either competition or arguments. Who's got the best chicken wings? Many of you will say Points East has the best chicken wings. Had them once, wasn't impressed. 20 years ago, haven't been back because they haven't changed. And they only have one flavor of wing at Points East. Wing. That's the only flavor. You can get any flavor you want as long as it's the only flavor they offer, which is wing flavor. I have no idea what it is. Is it because chicken wings are social? Is that what it is? Well, not really, because it's not like if you're eating chicken wings, which if you do it properly does require 2 hands. And if they're a sauced wing, you can't shake anybody's hand. So it's not like it's social. If you're eating chicken wings, all you can do is elbow bump somebody or maybe fist bump them. I wouldn't even fist bump some of y'all if you were eating chicken wings because you'll probably have sauce on your knuckles. Everybody wants to know where the best wings are. So here, I'm going to tell you what. We'll do this for the YouTube chatters because they seem to have that question. Where do you guys think the best chicken wings are? Since you're not going to be getting them at Elsa's anymore. They're all about the same to me. It's the atmosphere. In fact, I just went to a place on Sunday. Oh, I wish I could tell you, but ain't no way. And I love a bunch of y'all. And most of y'all that I love, it would be great if you came in to this particular place and had chicken wings. But then there's the others, and you know exactly who I'm talking about. Oh, have I got a story for you? But I don't want there to be a differentiation between, because we think of these people as like separate groups, and they're very connected. The grown folks that go out to a decent restaurant, probably downtown, and act a complete fool, and they argue, they get drunk, they drink lemon drops. Apparently they drink lemon drops made with tequila. First of all, and I've said it before, I got to say it again, even good tequila is disgusting. You know how good tequila has to be to not be utterly gross? It's made from a cactus. It's disgusting. I'm sorry. I know some of y'all gonna get mad because that's all you want out of life is cactus liquor and chicken wings. That's a simple existence, and maybe I'm jealous. I wish the highlights of my life could come down to drinking cactus liquor and eating a wing of a chicken. You know how many chickens is running around planet Earth with no arms because of y'all eating chicken wings all the time? However, I digress. There's a connection between these unruly kids that are stealing cars, they're criminals. Abject criminals. Let's just call it what it is. And so I hear this other thing. It's usually from the white liberals because they don't want to say how they really feel about black kids. They say, oh, we need to redirect their energy. Oh, that's kind of neat that they can steal a Kia in 40 seconds. That means that they're good with their hands. Maybe we should redirect the energy. How? How, Sway? How you going to redirect the energy? Because it's the energy that they are getting a lot of times from their parents. And we got to call it out. Like, we got to stop as black people being so sensitive. When people dislike behavior that is too often associated with us. And I got to clean this conversation up because I believe the great Senator Reverend is on the line right now. So listen here. Hopefully he didn't hear that little rant I just went on about chicken wings, because for all I know, the Reverend Senator likes chicken wings too. I should ask him, but I'm not going to ask him because we have other things that we need to discuss. Savannah, is that the Reverend Senator on the line? I don't know if she's sure who's on the line yet. I don't know. Felix says, we are all hungry. Felix says, I love wings. Jamel Harris says, tell him why the sign is on the window that children are not allowed in Points East. You know what? Jamel, that's a good question, but I respect any business owner that may not want to have children in their establishment. Plus, if you serve liquor, that's not really a place for children. We'll table that conversation right now. We have the great Senator Reverend Raphael Warnock. Senator, how are you?
Hello, it's great to be here with you.
Well, we're glad that you're here with us. And first, let me start by thanking you for your very rousing and inspirational and emotional speech that you gave on night one of the Democratic National Convention in Chicago.
Thank you so very much, sir. I am deeply honored to represent the people of Georgia in the United States Senate. For the people of your state to say, when we take stock of our children and their future and what we desire for them, as we consider our aging parents as they deal with the blessings and the burdens of aging, as we think about the planet and the way forward, we want you to go to Washington and represent us and center the people. And that's what I try to do every day, and that's what I tried to do in that speech last night, center ordinary people.
Senator Warnock, Joe Biden gave a much later than prime time address at the DNC last night. Your thoughts on what he articulated, what he communicated about his life and time in politics, and also the way in which he so gracefully handed the torch off to Kamala Harris?
It was a signal moment of the convention last night. Joe Biden is a class act. Here is a lifelong public servant who started in service. Ironically, folks are talking about his age in recent months. He was so young when he started out as a senator. Andy Young explained not long ago that they actually had to wait a few days for him to turn 30 so they could legally swear him in. And he's literally spent his whole life centering the concerns of ordinary people. He's been a champion for the working class. I have to say, as the pastor of Martin Luther King Jr.'s church, Joe Biden understands better than most politicians the journey that this country's had to take on the question of race, the work that we still have to do. I believe that's why he has appointed such a diverse array of judges to the circuit courts in our country. He's literally appointed more black women to the circuit court than all of his predecessors combined. Appointed the first black woman, Ketanji Brown Jackson, of course, to the Supreme Court. And he's doing other incredible things like student debt relief, which literally narrows the racial wealth gap. I can go on and on about his legacy, but what a stark contrast to Donald Trump. Here's a man who literally, he already won the nomination, but he listened to the people. He saw what was going on in his party, and as he said last night, I love this job, but I love my country more. And so graciously, the man who served as vice president to the first black president then opened the door and created a path now to be the predecessor to the first black woman, the first Asian woman, the first woman president. What a class act.
We are speaking with U.S. Senator from the great state of Georgia, Reverend Raphael Warnock. Reverend, the Republicans held their convention in the city in which we are broadcasting from now, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. That was last month. And you could feel their excitement. You could feel their momentum because they were just so, I guess, drunk on their own hubris that they just knew that their anointed one, Donald Trump, was going to beat Joe Biden. Well, flash forward just a couple of days, and Joe Biden has stepped down to make way for his vice president to receive the nomination. And all of that momentum has shifted. It's even reflected in the polls. Should we be concerned? Because the Republicans are not going to say, oh, well, Kamala's a much better candidate. She's got better issues on her side. She's got a diverse coalition of support. We're just going to go along with the Democrats and work with them when Kamala gets elected. We know that the Republicans are not like that. Should we be concerned with the revenge tour they may go on if they see the writing is on the wall and they've lost their momentum and Kamala Harris is, in fact, elected the 47th president of the United States?
Listen, not only that, our concerns should even precede that moment. I can tell you that right now in the state of Georgia, and sadly in other states across our country, the anti-democratic forces that are afoot in our nation are really aligning themselves and organizing themselves and already creating a pretext for which to refuse to certify an election. So not only do we need to win, we need to try to win in large enough margins to make it difficult for some of these bogus court claims that I'm, sadly predicting that are likely to happen, more than likely. And so what we can't do is allow that reality to so demoralize our electorate that people don't bother to show up. We can win this election. You take it from somebody who has faced voter suppression, looked it in the eye. When I ran this last time, they looked at the anatomy of my victory the first time, and they came after me with everything. They literally said, as we were going into the runoff, because they saw how successful we had been the last time, they literally said that the people of Georgia, because of some obscure law, were not allowed to vote the first weekend of the runoff. It was because they didn't want students showing up. They didn't want broad parts of our coalition to show up. And so I literally had to take them to court. I had to sue them just so that the people of Georgia could vote the first weekend of the runoff. Thankfully, we won that lawsuit. They then appealed it. I had to win it again. They then appealed it again. I had to win again. And finally, the people of Georgia got a chance to vote. I won the election by a margin that roughly mirrors the number of people who voted that weekend. And so we've got to use all the tools. We've got to turn out whatever the avenues to vote are in our respective states, early voting, mail-in voting. We've got to use all of that, turn out all the parts of our coalition. We will certainly be dispatching through the DNC and other vehicles the lawyers that are necessary on the ground to defend people's vote, to ensure that every vote gets counted. And I think the country is watching the dumpster fire that is Donald Trump right now as he's becoming increasingly unhinged. We're going to win. We're going to beat him decisively, but we got to keep running. We cannot let our foot off the gas. We got to run all the way through the tape.
Senator, before I let you go, I would like to know the sentiment of voters in Georgia. We all heard that recording that Donald Trump was on with, I believe, Brian Kemp asking for 11,780 votes. Can Georgia hold, because the road to the White House not only runs through Wisconsin, also runs through Georgia. So do you think that the sentiment in Georgia will be favorable toward Kamala Harris and Tim Walz?
Certainly the road to the White House runs through Georgia, runs through Wisconsin. I must say that I'm very proud to work alongside your Senator Tammy Baldwin. I've been in your state campaigning with her and on her behalf. She has worked closely with me as the two of us have championed the issue of Medicaid expansion in our respective states, which are holding out, literally holding the people of our state hostage while state-level politicians play games and people's health care is compromised. But we will continue to make the case. We'll continue to do the work. There's a lot of energy on the ground in Georgia, and I have to say that some of the machinations and nonsense of Donald Trump is helping. I mean, here's a man who was a Republican nominee. He came to our state at a Republican rally for his election, and he spent a great deal of energy attacking the sitting Republican governor of Georgia. So from my vantage point, they should keep that up on that side. And meanwhile, we'll remain focused on the people, and I believe the people will deliver us the victory in Georgia and in our country.
U.S. Senator Reverend Raphael Warnock, thank you so much, Senator. It's been a pleasure talking to you. And if you ever find yourself in Milwaukee, by all means, you're more than welcome to join us on the air here at 101.7 The Truth.
Thank you so very much. Keep the faith.
All right. Thank you, Senator. I'm going to take a little pause for the cause and come back. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be back shortly.
Don't touch that dial.